Everyone's taking their final drinks. Listen, no.
I mean, that was the first of many.
Yeah.
What are you drinking tonight?
What are you drinking and stuff?
Oh, I'm drinking Soft Parade by Short, and also I have Jameson and pickle juice for picklebacks because I'm fancy. Not really.
Pickle juice.
Yes.
You know,
No, I don't know
Steph. And I'll leave it alone.
Like, why
Good
would
idea.
you do that to Jameson?
Yeah. It's like,
What did Jameson ever do to you?
See, what I know, people have pickle juice and it's good. When I think of like pickle juice, so I think like the last of the pickle juice at the bottom of a bottle, a jar, and I'm like, do I really want to drink that?
No.
Absolutely, yes.
Although it doesn't help that my favorite pickles are. I know people call them jerkins, but is it? I believe it's pronounced gherkins.
I think it's gherkins.
Yeah, because everyone say sweet jerkins, and I'm like, don't know if I can get down with that name.
Yeah,
especially 16-year-old me definitely couldn't have got away with that name. We're gonna do some sweet jerkin. It's gonna be awesome. Thank you guys for watching Geekgasm. You are watching us. We are live. We're gonna hit the intro, come back, introduce all ourselves, and you guys can inquire about why my hair is purple. All right, let's begin. Here is the intro. Here we go. Hello, everybody out there. My name is Varian Grant, and I am just on loan once again, helping out Indie Princess because she's under the weather, but still here. That's how committed she is. And, we drug her out and told her if she didn't do the show, there'd be consequences and hell to pay. So, she was told to get it together. So, but I'm here to help out. See, I got the purple hair tonight. Purple hair and purple hair don't care. I am leaving right after the show is finished. I'm putting on my mask here. I got one of these COVID masks. I'm putting one of those on, and I'm heading down to the traffic light and see if they got any openings. I'm gonna pay my tip in and get on that stage because it is PS5 time. I gotta have enough money to put that pre-order down. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to go out there and work it out a bit. And with the COVID mask on, it's not my fault. They won't see the beard. And if they do, I will sue for.
You don't have much of a beard anyway.
Oh, just diss me. Wow. Okay.
No, it's just so it's easy to hide.
Yeah. Okay.
Shade.
Yeah, throwing shade. That's okay. And by the time they realize they have a beard, I'll be getting the hell out the club so I can get home because I don't think they're gonna like it too much. And you know the weird thing about this?
Just tell them you're a bearded lady.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Joe Cotton says sweet jerkin.
Sweet jerkin.
Yeah. See, told you. I'm not the only person out there that looked at that and said, you know what this means. Pop says the damage this COVID did to me was inspiring me to create only 5 spots left. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that. That's one of our topics tonight is how has COVID damaged your favorite fandom? Has it damaged your financial outlook any? No cons. It's been kind of hard for people who rely on the con circuit to make some money. So we're going to talk about that. But first, we're going to introduce ourselves again. I'm Varian Grant. Started making comics in 2008. I am also the founder, you wouldn't know it, of Indie Volt Media LLC. Yeah, people are like, you're in charge? Let me pull my investment. I'll see. Yeah. And Indie Princess, who are you?
I'm muting myself. There we go. I am the Indie Princess, as you said, and I am the host of Geekgasm. I'm just having some help tonight because, like Varian said, I am under the weather. I have a major headache because I hit my head earlier. But I'm here for you guys, so just bear with me. And I took over Indie Volt, so he's not in charge anymore.
Ooh.
Took over Indie Volt.
I love a woman in charge. I'm just saying. Love it.
I don't. I was put out of my job as editor-in-chief of IndieVolt.com, and that's okay. That's okay. I did it for good reason, and she's doing a good job over there. So, She hasn't got me in trouble yet. So yeah, Stephanie, who are you, ma'am?
I am a superhero, also a writer, editor, podcaster, and dog lover. I love my dogs a lot.
You do.
If you ever watch my social media, it's mostly my dogs. So yay.
Yeah, it's Stephanie loves her dogs almost as much as most people love cats. It's very, very scary.
Well,
Not a cat
you
person.
know, I don't have any little ins like you guys, so
Yeah, trust me, I like my dog way more than my kid.
Yeah.
Get over there, so.
Yeah. My little dog, my daughter calls it her sister. She's like, that's my sister.
Aw,
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah, I
She's like our fur baby.
yeah, see, I love my dogs. My son.
I
okay.
love my nephew, but I
Yeah.
don't have to live with him. So
I will send him
that's
over there
different.
to you. I will send him to you.
He won't like it here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just tell you.
Yeah.
He will not like it.
You can eat pickle juice, Dad. Pickle juice. It was mixed with something that was actually pretty good. I slept all day. Meredith,
Yes, sir.
explain yourself.
I am Meredith Lochran. I am the executive producer of the Geek Insider podcast, and I am also the project coordinator of IndieVent.com, where we have a lot of events that bring together the indie community in entertainment and writing, prose, comic books, movies, music, and tech.
Very cool. And Meredith, she's been she's got a site or a YouTube known as the Comic Noob, but I don't think that fits you anymore.
I'm working. You know what? That was never supposed to be a permanent title. The
Yeah.
comic noob is something that because I'm working on my very first comic book,
Mhm.
but I'm hoping to get my first comic credit with 2 pages that are going into Luke Stone's Hybrids: The Sons of Gods trade paperback. So we'll see.
You see, you had to the problem is when you create the Comic Noob, you weren't thinking about tomorrow. Like
I was actually thinking of a year out, because then that's like graduation day. So that is when I don't know what I would call myself after that. Maybe just Meredith.
You can call them what I call a couple people who've been on the show before. A couple of old hosts. I call them the comic book has-beens.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The comic book biatch.
I'll be getting
biatch any day.
I'll be getting some dirty emails from Scott Roseman tomorrow. Emailing me some very dirty letters. Jeff Ryder, sir, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, my name's Jeff, and I write.
Oh.
I thought
Did he put himself out? Oh, let me see.
I didn't do it. I swear.
He's like, I write and then I cancel myself from a podcast.
And then I disappear from the
Oh
stream.
my
Apparently,
God.
what was that?
It's in your,
Wow.
it's in your device.
Are you Nightcrawler now or something?
Yeah, that was, and I'm also secretly a mutant who teleports across space and time via an alternate dimension that smells like brimstone. No,
over.
that was weird, right?
Yeah.
No, my name's Jeff, and I am a comic book writer. I write and publish comic books at Cloud Wrangler Comics, which is my imprint, and you can find all our good stuff at cloudwranglercomics.com, as well as cool places like Kickstarter, where we're currently doing a thing that we'll talk about.
Woo. Also, hello, Jeff, another fellow comic book writer.
Listen, you writers are weird. That's all.
Yeah. Weird, sad, lonely, broke, lots of those things.
Stephanie actually did some paintings, and she chipped her card and showed us that she can actually paint. So what's going to happen now? And she can actually, I believe, because she can paint, I believe she can illustrate.
No.
I'm starting to think that Stephanie has been holding on to talents for a very long time.
Pushing those boundaries.
I can only do abstract. If I try to draw an actual human being, it will look like a sad, like kind of ball of yarn that got wet and then somebody lit it on fire. So that's not going to happen. Ever.
I see. Sean Dean.
Hey everyone, I'm Sean Dean. I'm the co-founder of 8-Bit Shinobi, and we're basically we're like an all-in-one gaming lounge. So we go to conventions. I set up gaming stations. I have games, board games. We promote our art, and I'm also currently working on a comic book called Paranormal Academy. We're launching to get funds to pay our team to finish the comic book series and to get equipment. And we just launched our online store at 8bitshinobi.ca.
Ah,
Nice. Woo woo.
1 second, real quick. I seen Pop said exit stage right. Varying a sandbag in the town. This no, I don't know what happened. His device is disconnected, and then he was back. And then Niobe says Varian wearing his Niobe wig. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. I'm well, okay. Lola went purple.
I went purple and blonde.
Yeah, purple and blonde.
The underneath is all purple.
Stephanie is pink.
I'm going gray.
Oh, look at us. Like we are like the best fashion shades.
So
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
well, yeah, I'm like, well, you know what? I don't want to be, I don't want to be left out here, because then I'd have been like, I was told I was going, there's some gray in my beard, and I don't know how to feel about it. On the one hand, certain women are looking at me now like, hey, maybe he's got benefits. On the other token, they think, oh, he's old, and he only has like 5 years left, so.
He could die at any time.
Yeah. I'm just kidding with him. It'll be easy. Yeah. Pop says Sean Dean helps promote a lot of people on Twitter as well. And we'll get around to that. Lola, there's questions. Are there not? There's 2 questions tonight. Okay, I'm gonna put them on the board.
Right.
Let you guys discuss these. Watch your faces. Here they come. All right. I do not miss comic conventions. I buy my comics from crowdfunding platforms. I haven't gone to a comic book shop or convention in years. That is from Call Me Andy.
Who wants to go first?
I was gonna say, can we fight for who goes first? Because I'll go first.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go first. I get it. Like conventions aren't for everyone, and a lot of us feel more comfortable like buying stuff from the safety of our own homes. Stepping outside the front door is scary. I get it. So however you buy them, good for you. But there are people that enjoy that interaction that this year, we're not getting.
Mhm.
So thank God for people like you who are like into buying stuff online and not necessarily going to conventions and like connecting with artists on that level.
That's a good point. There are so many of us now who are kind of afraid to go out, so we've gotten used to now curbside service, video chats. Video chatting has saved me so much gas. I kind of don't want to go back to the old thing. Like, I have to actually go there. I'm like, what kind of 1950 stuff is I have to come there? Can't we just do this over teleconference?
Like Homer Simpson said, I have to use my 2 legs like a sucker.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to do this. What is it, Ola?
So we've been doing everything over the computer now.
Yeah, everything over the computer.
Appointments, school, everything.
I tell you what. Never mind. I got. I just.
So Meredith, what do you think about that?
You're muted. Why? There you go.
Throw the question up there again.
All right. Watch your face. There it is.
Ugh.
I do not miss comic conventions. I buy my comics from crowdfunding platforms. I haven't gone to a comic book shop or convention in years. I'm kind of torn with that because comic conventions, that's where you meet and greet, you get the business cards, you network. So as a fan, I guess if you have been training for the beer bug your entire life, that's okay.
Mhm.
But honestly, I'm all for small business. Go out there and support them as much as you can, as often as you can, because
Hell
they
yeah.
are really suffering. So, go to your comic book shop. I mean, if they have an online store, great. But there is just nothing like going to a store. For me personally, going to a store and flipping through the books and walking down the aisles and talking to people who actually enjoy the books.
Yeah, that's always fun to be able to go talk to people and to meet fans and to go harass Stephanie at her table. One of my favorite pastimes at any
Never
con.
at her table.
Yeah, when she's there, that's why she's not at her table. She's like, shit, I gotta get out of here. Here comes Varian.
Oh, actually, like I'm normally hanging out with your wife.
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. She's not at her table because she's hanging out at mine. They're Comic-Con besties. I don't understand it. But I will tell you guys this: I do miss Comic-Cons myself. I from a business standpoint, it has affected me. It's also, though, it's kind of weird because on one side it's affected me and what we're able to sell and have a business we're doing. In some areas, we did pretty well in our online store, honestly. But the other thing is, it's also saved me a bit of money because I'm not traveling as much as I was. So there's no hotel fee, no convention table fee.
Mhm.
So it's almost as if, in a way, I'm kind of because okay, I'm saving that money that I would have spent, but you're not making anything either to offset that. So it kind of sucks. But as for not going to a comic store, man, there are some good books out there that are distributed through Diamond that deserve to be picked up. I don't know how you're getting your like mainstream books, but I wouldn't turn on those altogether. We're happy you're shopping indie though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we are very happy. Jeff, you want to say anything about that, or?
Well, it's an interesting perspective. It reminds me, I met a guy at a show at San Diego Comic-Con a couple of years ago who told me, I don't go to that same attitude. I don't go to comic book shops, right? I'm not interested in that. I don't care about Cape Comics, and I'm not interested in the big two. I love buying comics on Kickstarter, and the guy was saying he probably backs 80, 90 Kickstarters a year, right? Buys tons and tons of comics on Kickstarter. He's only interested in interesting stuff, things outside the window that you would normally find, really cool indie things. But he had decided to come to Comic-Con because so many of the creators he had backed were at the con, and he wanted to meet those folks.
Right.
So the idea that, I only back indie books on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, and I don't go to cons, like that's an odd overlap for me. There's a place at most shows for whatever it is that you're into, even if it's niche indie stuff that you can only find on Kickstarter. Those folks are at shows too, and that's your chance to take something that you backed and then go and tell that creator, hey, I backed your thing, and it's awesome. I really enjoy it, and it's so nice to meet you, and blah, blah, blah. When they've said it to me, it's been great. I always like meeting those folks. The idea that this is the way to do it, because this sounds like it's almost a pre-COVID attitude for whoever this person is. Like, I don't miss cons because I haven't been to a Comic-Con, or shop in years. Well, we haven't been under the end times for years. It's only been months. Feels like years.
Yeah.
But it's been shorter than that.
It's been like probably 1,000 years. Let's be honest.
But piggybacking off of that, Jeff, if people buy the physical copies off of Kickstarter and then they go to the Comic Cons and get them signed, it's really kind of a great opportunity, I think.
Yeah.
You can't meet at a Comic-Con? No, you can't meet? Can't meet Larry Higgins. Because he's been banned from Comic-Cons. I'm sorry, Larry. Well, he was in the chat picking on my wig. So. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, but he does have a comment now. It'll be comics, so I know he's listening. I'm gonna get a smart ass message about that pretty soon. Although he's proud to have been banned. He stuck to his guns and got banned. He stuck to his beliefs, and they banned him. But he's still making money putting his comic out because he just said, "Great news! We're funded in 7 hours and going strong. Thank you to any and all Indie Vote viewers who shared and backed." Yeah, guys, appreciate that. Niobe, another book that Larry's been he's been having a lot of success with over time now. He's got I think he's got so many different covers for that book. He's almost up there with the Eternals on that 40 variant cover series they're doing. He's almost up there, Larry. I think he's like 4 or 5 shy.
Well, Sean didn't get a chance to answer that question.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Sean. Sean, what do you think about that?
Well, I'm a little torn because it kind of affected my business because that's where we made our money going to conventions and small shops, selling our figures, our artwork. So my artist would come with me, and that would be the way to get her to make money. We made money, we made our table, and that also generated buzz for our crowdfunding that we started. As for the comic book shop, we have a really big. We have a in Ottawa. We have a really rich community,
Mhm.
and everyone's together. Like I funded Ottawa Facebook comic book buy and sell.
Mhm.
And our local comic book shop was having financial problems. The whole community came together to give the comic book shop money. So even their competitors were giving to the GoFundMe, and our it was because of my group. And
That's
I've been going,
amazing.
yeah, I've been going there since I moved to Ottawa when I left high school. We played card games. We developed a community. And now now that I'm older, I take my little daughter there. She's starting to get into all of these comics. So they have like a little section for kids. They have like a little table. They have like the chair and everything and all the toys. So she goes up to the desk and she asks the comic book girl, she's like, can you print out Baby Jack Jack for me? So they'll print it out for her. She'll go over there and she'll color it. So we're kind of missing that right now. And I do agree that comic books have been going down. That's why lately I've been putting my money backing independent creators. And we're also hoping when we open up our gaming lounge, we're looking to have like a library where people can check out other people's Indiegogo like comics or like
Right,
like
like things
ad-
you've backed and like people have them in a library that you can check out, right?
yeah. So
I
they,
like
they
that.
so while you're waiting for your food or whatever, you just
You
pick
could
it up and you flip through it and you're like, oh, I
love
like this
that.
book.
Mhm.
I got the idea from we had this comic convention.
Glenn, hell no, I'm not drinking White Claw. Mm, mm. Soft Parade by Shorts. All right.
I'm
White
sorry,
Claw?
I had to put that
Son of
up
a
there.
bitch.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Sorry.
I had to put that up there. Stephanie takes her alcohol very seriously, and a White Claw. I have a whole case of White Claw, and I drank one
Why?
It's gross.
because I was told to try it. I was told to try it, and I tried it, and I was like,
Ugh.
well, I thought they legalized piss for consumption. That's what I thought. We have White Claw as a sponsor. White Claw, them shits is delicious.
Oh,
Speaking of alcohol, I started making my own. I make my own beer and wine, and then I make extracts. So I made a bubblegum flavored vodka. I made a cherry vodka, blackberry. I've gone nuts with it.
thank you, Glenn. I did not lose my cred.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, so they asked, Pop says crowdfunding is a risk. You never know if you're going to get nicked. Oops, yes, you can get nicked. And I love my local comic shop, buymetoys.com, shameless plug. They owe me $10.
Okay.
I'm gonna write to them, Pops.
Get nicked? What does that mean?
When Nick, who shall not be named, sent out his book to all his backers, all 8 of them, and they all got these really cramped. He put them in manila envelopes, and that's
Okay.
and with a little flimsy little board, and the books all came damaged, bent up, really done bad, and people were like, "Hey, where's my book? Can I get a new one?" And he was like, "Get bent." So People are still out there. They paid $15 for the book. His editor, I'm not saying their name because the person told me they want to move past it. So, but he told them he'd send them he didn't pay his editor, and then didn't send them the free book that was requested. So the editor had to buy a book that arrived to them damaged. Just a horrible situation. So we call it getting nicked. And when we told the guy about like, hey, Nick, there's been some issues, he's like, fuck you, you know. So I mean, it was.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like he got nicked. That sounds like he nicked himself.
Yeah. Oh, he has his last campaign. He it funded.
I don't know this guy, but it sounds like he didn't do it the right way. So
it only funded because it
obviously
because it was a flexible goal. Otherwise, it wouldn't have funded it. I mean, he got exactly what he wanted, what he should have gotten. Also, there's Glenn Nicholas wanted to know why Larry got banned, and Larry told him. I stuck up for Vic. Read about it here. Put a ad up in. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna let him do that. And then Larry says, I'm not banned from cons, just one. Yeah, but when you're as far up in Canada as you are, Larry,
there's only one convention, and you're banned from it.
Yeah, you're far up there. You're gonna have to go down to Ottawa. You're gonna go down there.
There's like 5 conventions in Ottawa, and they're big.
See, Larry, you got to get up from almost Russia and go down to Ottawa and Ontario. Ontario is like Little Michigan, man. I'm right across the lake. I can come see you.
Hey, JD.
JD Calderon in the house says, hello, everyone. What's up,
Hi.
Sean? So yeah, I had to be a Nick. Yeah, poor Nicholas. Nicholas actually has to be a Nick. I'm sorry, Nick. Nicholas. Well, Pa says you're a good Nicholas. You know, that almost sounds like something else. We're gonna leave it like that. You're a good one.
Can I ask Sean something?
Sure.
I am curious about your headband.
Oh, it's from Naruto. It's the Sound Ninja.
Huh?
Yeah, I wore it because of my name, my company name, 8-Bit Shinobi Ninja, so Ninja headband. And I got now
I want everybody to understand that is 8-Bit Shinobi, not 8-Bit Shinobi.
It does not. It kind of
write that down. Writing that down. New character. New character.
Oh, like because the first time because I have your websites up, I have your Indiegogo, and I have the Paranormal Activity tab up, and I was like, he said 8-bitch, it's like
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that, and I'm medicated, Mary. Where's your head at tonight? I haven't drank anything.
I told you I'm graduating from the comic noob to the comic biatch.
Yeah, you're just hearing all kind of stuff.
I know. It's the voices in my head.
Fun fact: when I first came up with the idea, our first name was "Me Love You Long Time."
Oh no!
Because we cook Asian food,
Yeah.
so I'm like, that was the first name, and then I'm like, nah, it's got to be game related. So then I went with everything: 8-Bit Dragon Punch, Fist of Fury, all sorts of things.
It was 8-Bit is my new title. Well, yeah, I'm doing 8-Bit bitches. By the way, Larry, also, darn you, Mary, you better write that new character. Yeah, I don't. Larry, 8 bitches. That sounds like me, like the first year after high school. I can give you the script of that if you want. Holler at me. I'll send it to you. Anyway, what?
It didn't well.
Yeah, it didn't end well. It didn't end well for me. So yeah, let's talk about you guys' books.
We got one more question.
Oh, we had another question? Oh crap. We spent way too much time on that one. We got this totally just go to this one. What's the most pointless perk in a crowdfunding campaign that you have seen or that you are getting tired of seeing? And that's from D. Everybody wants to D. Everybody wants this person.
Not everyone.
No.
Not everyone.
Well, actually, everybody, I think, let's be honest here. And maybe I'm just thinking not clearly because of PS5 and how bad I gotta get that system. But
I know
was thinking
the wig is baking your brain.
I was thinking like you know, what would I do for a PS5 that I didn't have to pay for? And look,
I agree.
I'm
Okay.
I'm straight. I'm straight. But for a free PS5, maybe a little one. So that goes back to what I was gonna say, that everybody wants one. You just might not be the one that you want. It's like high school. It's like sex in high school, sex in prison. The sex that you want, the sex that you want, you're not getting. Sex that you're getting, Lord knows you don't want. So that's what it is. It's just like that, and I'm straight. I swear. So
straight.
Have you seen that fan-made commercial for Klondike Bar where the guy's sitting in the shower and then the guy leaves the hotel room and he's eating a Klondike Bar crying while the shower washes the dirt away?
I haven't seen that one. I have to check it out though.
Hilarious.
I'm gonna have to go look at it. Bookmarks. JW is tired of bookmarks in a campaign, but that's like
It's
like-
I'm with him.
what?
But
I don't use bookmarks.
It depends on the type of bookmark.
It depends on the type of book. Wait, time out. Okay, because I happen to a friend of the show. He's just got bookmarks. He's got nice metal bookmarks. They're nice
I
metal,
like the
shiny.
metal ones. If they're done
That's
right.
different.
Yeah. You know, you don't use bookmarks, Stephanie?
No.
Yeah, you don't.
Okay, this is like so not classy, but like I use like a part of like a piece of toilet paper typically. So like yeah, I'm like marking my page. I'm like, oh, this toilet paper piece, I like it. We're gonna do that. It just seems safer. I don't want to like bend my books or like hurt them. So I thought a piece of toilet paper would be like the softest thing to mark a page and not bend it. I mean,
So let me put you on the hot seat here. You're already full screen.
yeah, I can
yeah.
see myself
Yeah.
so much. Oh my god,
Stephanie. At some point while reading, you decided to use precious toilet paper
yes,
to bookmark where you were at in a book.
yes.
Wow, the privilege. I'll just use this Sherman. And, you know.
I'm not saying it was like 2-ply. That shit was 1-ply, maybe half-ply. But you know, I'm doing what I can.
My brain, I don't know. Maybe see, I've raised 3 boys, so I get bathroom humor. The first place that my brain went to was that she reads in the bathroom.
No.
And I don't, which is I don't.
So let me set the scene for you. Some country, where was it? It was toilet paper. A roll of toilet paper can go for 10 pesos, and they had to put the toilet paper like in the gas stations, in the rest stops, on like chains and tires, like just like they'll give you the key, but the toilet tissue is locked down. And imagine that person coming to America and seeing Stephanie, knowing what she's going to do with the precious toilet paper, also tearing it out just to put a place in the book. She's rich beyond words.
You know, reading is fundamental.
Mhm.
Okay, and toilet paper is soft on my books. I'm very careful. I'm not trying to like crack a spine. All right, I'm like,
someone needs to make a soft bookmark for it.
You know, we giving the common community so much tonight. Yeah. John Martin says toilet paper as a bookmark. Was it a shitty read?
If I'm reading it enough to put a bookmark in it, it's a great read.
Okay, all right. Pop says a
Just
piece of
shut
envelope,
up.
whatever is handy. Toilet paper is still a bookmark, he says.
It is.
And Niobe says, I got a condom from Lady Death. It's been collecting dust.
Oh, from backing the Kickstarters, because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I don't.
Clueless.
Most pointless. So you're against bookmarks. Any princess against
Not
bookmarks?
all of bookmarks.
Okay.
It depends on how they're made and what they look like.
Okay, Meredith.
Right.
Anything you're tired of?
No, I love all this swag.
Sean?
I don't like those pins. I have like a huge collection of pins from all these boxes, gift boxes, and all sorts of things.
You
They're
mean
just
like
there collecting dust.
you mean like you don't mean ink pens? You mean like pens like
Yeah, the pins that
enamel
you
pens?
put on your shirt.
Wow, man! Like the enamel pens, or like the buttons.
It's like the ones that will like pick you when you're putting it on. Like you
Yeah.
can stab yourself.
Okay, yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
I like those.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also like those.
Jeff.
I feel like I'm more in Meredith's camp. I can't remember the last thing I got out of a Kickstarter package that I went, what the hell is this? Like, it's cool for indie artwork and crazy stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see a lot of the same stuff. I've got more stickers than I'll ever stick on anything, which is fine. But I also have nieces and nephews and little kids come to my house at Halloween and want crazy stuff. I'm like, hey, have some stickers, kids. They're great. I don't care.
Yeah, you got to catch some of that though. Some kid will go home. Never mind.
They'll have like a Rob Anderson hugs and spanks sticker or something.
Yeah. Thank you, Meredith. Thank you.
You got to be careful which stickers you give out.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say something and then
when I purge comics out of my comics collection, every year we put them out on the porch on Halloween, and we don't have candy necessarily. We just big box comic books, and there's a big sign that says, "Hey kids, come get some comic books," and then there's a smaller box on the side that says, "Hey parents, be careful letting your kids take comics out of this box." They're a little more in that way, and like nothing wrong with it. Kids are gonna read it. Kids are gonna get exposed to it, right? Like it's a thing. The internet's full of worse stuff than sits on my porch for sure.
Yeah.
But these are the ones that, hey, mom and dad, maybe look through these real quick before you let your kids just grab them and take off with them. Yeah. And so Rob stickers would go in that box too.
Yeah.
The parents would pull it out and think, maybe I'm just going to keep this for me and stick it in their pocket and go home.
I remember my name of my comic publishing company is Last Call Comics, and I remember some young girls coming to the table and we had beads with a little charm on it, and one side is our mascot Tipsy, the other side is the logo, and at that point the logo just a big picture of beer with the words Last Call Comics around it. Well, these girls wanted the beads are free, and they can we have them, and we didn't give them to them. We're like, well, could you go ask your parents first? I'll give them to you, it's not a problem, but could you ask mom and dad or whoever brought you if it's okay? And their mother comes back and she's like, oh, yeah, sure. And she said, look. And she turns them around and I noticed that they got these shirts on, but the shirts that have all the advertisers on the back. Well, Budweiser is a big prominent one right in the middle of them. She's like, we don't care what they get. If it's free, and I remember giving them the charms and they put them on. They were so happy. So a lot of times kids have been exposed to it already. Those girls are going to be drinkers when they get older, but they probably they got to be grown now. That was 2012, so when they were like teenagers, well, not they were like 11, 12, so they've got to be grown now. I'm sorry if the alcohol, it's my fault. CM Boss, I like the purple hair extensions. Thank you. I can't get it wet. I gotta let this last for a couple more weeks before I can get this done again. Just emulating every girl I've ever known.
Let's get into their books.
Don't care about the books. I don't the point of the swag, says Glenn. Yeah. And Pop says, I just don't have a place to display the prints. They get dropped in a box. I display or use most everything else. Pins, guitar picks, bookmarks, give the cards to the munchkins. Yeah, I like the trading cards. That's something I want to see more of. I want to see more trading cards. And trading cards done well. Don't leave the back blank. Write something about your character, first appearance, website, name of the comic, that type of information. Because that's going to go into my book that I'm going to keep probably forever. I mean, I've got card books that I did when I was 7 to 8 years old with my dad. I still got these books. That's something that I'm gonna be able to look back and say, hey, I wonder whatever became of that person who wrote that book.
Yeah, but Varian, do you think that those trading cards are appropriate for all books? I mean, I don't see that really. Maybe it's me. Maybe for fantasy and superheroes and things like that. But like, what about like your horror or.
Oh, I think for horror,
Yeah?
is really good. I think I
Trading
would
cards
do
for
a
that?
trading card for like Steph's covers.
You want some Aeonian trading cards because we can make that happen. But
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I mean, I mean,
We're
Steph
gonna-
has.
we're gonna up the gross level though
Okay.
if we do that.
yeah, we have to. I mean, Steph's covers need to be cards, they need to be trading cards, and there's art in the books that and things I'm sure that she'll have. I can see a Steph painting shrunk down to card size. Why not? With a blurb about the book on the back, it'd be pretty cool. I love trading cards though, and so does let's see. John says trading cards can be done for horror. Pop says yes. Yeah, see, they're all excited about that. There you go, Stephanie. Know what you got to do now.
All right, next Kickstarter trading cards.
Get
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
So let's talk about you guys' books. So we're gonna start with Jeff first. Jeff, I'm gonna pull your stuff up here.
Yay!
If Rob didn't, I know Rob put a lot. There we go. Okay, so you got a Kickstarter. He gave me the link to.
We do.
1 second. Why do I feel like there's a light on to my right and there's not? I don't.
probably because I'm looking at you.
Is that what's happening?
The beam of light from her shooting out from her
Yes.
eyes.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you find that there's more questions or more comments.
Go ahead with comments. Comments? Okay, let me see here.
Oh, you got it up now. So.
Yeah. Let's see. CM Bo says I got Bernie Wrights and trading cards.
So do I.
Yeah, we got those. In fact,
I'm trying to sell some actually.
Lola's grandfather brought her a ton of trading cards, and somehow they've ended up in my living room. And
I got about 5 boxes of different cards that I'm trying to get rid of.
yeah, and they're huge. I mean, huge boxes. These are not small boxes. These are huge, and she's been selling some of them. But some of them are also ones that I missed out on. So I'm going through there like she won't miss these, nor this one. Yeah, she will. She's not gonna miss this box. It's been awesome stealing.
Major Holmes and Captain Watson.
Yeah.
I want to hear about this.
Yeah, this is books that our good friend, new to the show, Jeff Ryder's doing, and from Cloud Wrangler Comics. Walk us through this Kickstarter.
So this is us. Major Holmes and Captain Watson is the story of the famous Sherlock Holmes detective, his nephew. So we created essentially a Sherlock Holmes, the next generation. I'm stepping all over my own pitch, which is not great. But so yeah, it's the story of Sherlock's nephew, Sheffield Holmes, who's a spy and a detective at the beginning of World War I. It's set both in the original Doyle canon and in the historical context of the political events that are going on in World War I. And Sheffield Holmes is a little bit Sherlock Holmes and a little bit James Bond. Obviously he's a soldier, he's a major. And he has a mysterious American partner who uses the Watson name, and they uncover a mystery in London's East End that is a clear threat to the Holmes family and possibly the larger geopolitical thing going on at the time. Big fans of World War I history will know what I'm talking about, but we're trying not to give away too many spoilers. And it's been live on Kickstarter for almost a month. We're in our last 2 days. We're fully funded. We're going to ship books in October, which is going to be awesome.
Hey.
Both issues are completely finished, short of adding everybody's name in the back and a little bit of back matter and putting together some of the rewards and packages and stuff like that. But they're going to print and ship really fast, which is really cool.
Mm.
And this has been kind of my baby book for a long time. It used to exist as a web comic, and that ended. And then we got a new creative team and started over and did a full-blown print series. So we're doing 2 issues now, and then issues 3 and 4, which will wrap up the arc, will be out in November and December.
Could I play the video? Is there? Do you
Oh
own the
yeah, it's a
music?
fun video.
Do you own the music in it?
We have a Creative Commons license for the music, and the creator is credited in the video. So that was the agreement that they asked us to live by. So shouldn't be
Good.
legal problems. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering can we play it? We'll see. Let's find out. It's Geekgasm. It's not Indie Vote Live. I'll see.
He doesn't care.
Yeah. I'll just do it. Yeah.
There
There you go. There's the credit right there.
There it is.
Okay.
Can you guys hear that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. That looks good.
Wow. That is a very effective video.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it's very effective. It's like, oh my God, if I don't buy this comic, can I even live with myself?
Yeah,
That's a serious question.
That's epic.
yeah.
Thank you. That's maybe my favorite one I've ever made. It was a lot of fun.
So is it $5 for the digital copy? And
yeah. So this campaign's a little tricky because there was a version of issue 1 running around for a little while.
Mhm.
You folks picked it up at shows from me. It was available digitally on my web store at cloudrangercomics.com. So there's some people who already read issue 1. So there's a tier where you can jump straight to issue 2 and get the digital version of issue 2 for $5, or you can get issue 1 and 2 in digital form for $8, I think is the tier. Or you can get both books in print for, I want to say, $16, maybe less than that. I don't remember.
Mhm.
So now, Jeff, you said that, okay, so we've got issues 1 and 2 here. You said 3
Yes.
and 4 are being worked on
Yes.
for the first story arc. So I'm assuming that there are more story arcs to come.
Yes. So the first arc of Major Holmes and Captain Watson centers around the very beginning of World War I and a very specific incident at that time. There are 4, I think, planned after that that I have outlines for, each of them centered around, again, a specific historical event that happens during World War I, and each featuring sort of a villain from a cabal of evildoers who are out to destroy Europe and the world in general, and the Holmes family in particular. That has it, like, I'm really trying not to, it's a mystery, so you got to be careful with spoiler stuff.
Right. You have to give them a little bit, but not all of it.
Yeah. So, yes, Holmes and his Watson, our new Holmes and his Watson uncover a group of evildoers who are out to get them, and who are manipulating the world in general. And so the story would follow the characters over the course of the entirety of World War I, and if we can manage to pull them off, and they each sort of serve as a case in the canon, the new canon of the new Holmes. So when you read the old Sherlock Holmes through the books, there are short stories, there are novels. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer, but each one is essentially one little mystery over and over. That's kind of what we decided to do. We outlined 4 or 5 different mysteries. This is the first mystery, and then it will lead to the second and the third. So there'll be ongoing character arcs for our main characters throughout the thing, but each one would be a contained idea.
Now, you're very specific with World War
it.
I. I mean, for the history buffs, are they going to really enjoy this? They're going to be nitpicking and going, "Oh, you actually did your history."
Man, I hope not. When we first started this, when I first started this, I grew up loving adventure fiction, and my grandmother was a librarian and used to give me old remaindered library books as birthday presents. So I would get the complete Sherlock Holmes and Three Musketeers and Treasure Island, and all of that stuff was the first thing that made me want to write stories when I was a kid. And Sherlock Holmes in particular is a thing that I'm really crazy about. When we started writing a next generation Sherlock Holmes, the time frame lines up that he would be both a soldier and a spy around the beginning of World War I. Because we wanted to set this in the original canon, I had to read the entirety of the body of Sherlock Holmes' work. Again, in fact, We'll do a little swivel. Those books right there in the background. That's my complete Sherlock Holmes that came from my grandmother.
Nice.
We'll drag them out. Hang on. I mean, this is how old and fallen apart these guys are. Check out the spines and the water stains. And I've had these forever. They're well worn, let me tell you. So you have to be careful with that stuff because the Holmes freaks will eat you alive if you get the canon wrong.
Oh my God, yes, they will.
They are very dedicated and they're wonderful people, and I've met a bunch of them. They're really cool. But so lots of reading, lots of making sure we're respecting the Holmes canon. Then you get into the World War I and the geopolitical stuff and the history, and there are people who are as fanatical about that, and so you're crossing over essentially two fandoms or two aficionados or two,
I was gonna say, I hope nobody's like a real big fan of World War One.
Well, fan's not really the right term, but aficionado maybe, or hobbyist.
No, yeah, aficionado makes a lot more sense. World War One was horrific.
People generally not fans of wars. Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But so it's a ton of reading. Every one that we get into is bonkers. The second mystery features a group of Italian mountaineering soldiers that I was lucky enough to get to meet a bunch of them during a big reunion that happened in Milan a couple years ago. This group of mountaineering guys called the Alpini, and it turns out my wife's family knows some of these guys and has relatives and stuff who are these sort of elite Italian mountain troops, and they've existed since well before World War One, and they were so cool that I was like, okay, we have to find a way to write them into the book. And so the second story involves a bunch of mountain climbing and fun, crazy stuff like that. So now I have to learn about mountain climbing too, because then those people will decide they don't like that I put in wrong details about mountain climbing or something. So
that's the hard thing. Like when you want to add history or like a specific skill set to any comic, you have to really research it, because if you don't, you're going to get called out.
Yeah.
People are going to get angry.
And the flip side of it is, if you do your research and if you do it right, now you have all this cool new built-in fan base for your book, right?
Right.
We've been getting backers for the Major Holmes campaign from various Kickstarter Sherlock Holmes fan groups and from various, folks who are into the aficionados of history and history buffs and comics lovers. And so it's kind of a cool thing. Like, I've had a whole bunch of people who send me messages and say, oh, I found this because I follow all the Sherlock Holmes fan groups and whatever. And I have not read Sherlock Holmes comics. I read lots of novels and I read the spin-off books and the Enola Holmes things and stuff like that. But there weren't a lot of Sherlock Holmes comics that weren't very strictly about Sherlock Holmes. Like Dark Horse did some series about Sherlock Holmes for a while, and they were just new versions or just, you can find comic book versions of the original canon, the stories that you've already read. But there weren't a lot of new things in comics that were doing that. And so it's fun that we have comics fans and then we have Sherlock Holmes fans and things like that. So, but yeah, if you get it wrong, they'll eat you for lunch. But if you get it right, then they're fans forever, and that's good.
Yes. In another episode of would probably cause me to be traumatized. Would probably traumatize young child variant. When you mentioned Sherlock Holmes for a new generation, my mind instantly went to an old favorite cartoon of mine, which was James Bond Jr., which I enjoyed in secret, not even in secret, but I enjoyed for at least a season or so before my dad caught an episode and ruined it for me. Because my father, they have the song James Bond Jr. And my dad said, what's his name? And it's James Bond Jr. And, I got some of the toys, see, and he calls my mother and he says, are you worried he's been watching James Bond Jr.? And she's like, yeah. He says, well, that's not right. It's his uncle. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, he can't. My father says he can't be James Bond Jr. and be his uncle unless James Bond, and this is James Bond, so it's possible, got a hold of his brother's wife or his own sister. I don't understand. And so he's like, he can't be James Bond Jr. So I'm glad that but again, that's just another weird thing that more cartoon trauma was put upon me as a child. Meredith knows about it. I've got issues. I probably was.
Speaking of James Bond, that's how I got my name. My dad was named after Sean Connery, and I was named after my dad. So Yeah, I grew up watching the originals, and I read the James Bond Jr. book. I think it was like a choose your own adventure type thing.
Mm-hmm. You know, I had a friend who used to go through the drive-through every morning, and he would offer to buy his breakfast. It's like, okay, sweet. But the one condition is that we had to sit in the car for straight face while he ordered in Sean Connery's voice. And that was the one deal. And we would sit in the car and we could just we had I'd like 2 McGriddles, please. So to get Major Homes, I know you have your website, and I'm gonna bring that up to Cloud Wrangler. I thought I had it, but apparently it closed on me.
Oh.
There we go. All right. I have browser issues. All right, there we go. Let's see here. Oops. Quickly, fill the air. Meredith. Definitely one of you.
Quick, somebody tap, go.
That's it. There we go. All right.
Now I'm worried my website is broken.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It was me.
Operator error.
It was me.
There.
It's an indelicate term, but when you're doing computers, it's a picnic. And I know it's an indelicate term, but it stands for problem in chair, not in computer. Yeah. Having a picnic problem today. So that's the problem when we're having an issue here on Indie Vault. The Arcane Cocktail Enthusiast #2. I love that name. And here we are at your website.
Yep.
Now they can buy all these comics directly from there too, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And I'm gonna go look.
So this is where we have both Major Homes, though those issues won't be available till after the Kickstarter is over. Mm-hmm. The previous thing you were talking about, Arcane Cocktail Enthusiast, is an ongoing series that we've also funded through Kickstarter. There are 2 issues of that are out so far. It's about a woman who owns a cocktail bar in San Francisco, is also secretly a wizard and makes drinks with magic. There she is right there. That's our magical, the Arcane Cocktail Enthusiast herself, Lark.
Now, someone presented a picture to us of a cocktail. Can I put that up?
Yeah.
It's a blue cocktail.
I think that's me.
That was yours? Okay.
Yeah,
that looks
Foxfile
delicious.
cocktail.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Stephanie's interest peaked.
I'm looking at it going, what even is that?
Yeah. it's what kind of cocktail? We heard cocktails and everybody got excited. So the Arcane Cocktail Enthusiast
which has cocktail recipes in it.
Yeah, it does.
Every issue has a magical cocktail recipe in it, and then suggestions of what you would use in the real world if you don't have, unicorn tears or things like that we would put in there.
Oh,
in the drinks.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I do know that unicorn blood, that Epson apparently has the market cornered on it.
Yeah. Well, the premise of the Arcane Cocktail Enthusiast is that Lark has learned, the main character of the book has learned, that there's not a lot of magic left in our world anymore because human wizards for centuries kind of took whatever they wanted without asking and slaughtered magical creatures just for fun and did terrible things to them. And so the various, unicorns and elves and magical things all retreated into these other realms. And as a sorcerer, she's learned how to move from our world into these other places and gather these ingredients. She would say she's sustainably bringing magic back into our world a little bit at a time, and then getting everybody drunk along the way, which is always fun. So you can even see her in the cover there where she's like slicing open reality and stepping into another world to bring back cool magical stuff to make drinks with. So
that's cool.
For Stephanie.
Yeah.
So no unicorn blood. If you could sustainably harvest, unicorn tears, I don't know why you'd want to make a unicorn cry, but
I know. Varian, what kind of monster are you?
Make them laugh till they cry, perhaps. I don't know.
I am. I'm a monster. A lot of cool stuff here. I'm gonna go to the shop here.
Speaking of swag that nobody wanted, when we did the Kickstarter campaign for Arcane Cocktail Enthusiast, we had matches, like books of matches from the mythical magical bar, only to find out that it's completely illegal to ship match books in the mail.
Yeah, because they could spontaneously let in fire. I get it, but
just like bull semen.
So we just kind of crossed our fingers and hoped we wouldn't get in trouble. Nobody complained, and no one reported back to me that they didn't get their their rewards because they were randomly searched by the feds for matches. Right.
Wow.
We just kind of found out after we'd already ordered all the match books that maybe this was not super above board,
Mhm.
and then we just kind of did it anyway and thought, we'll hope for the best. It seems
Yeah.
delicious.
Again, I mean, you gotta be careful. Those postal systems. I only know that because of working at a UPS store for a while. But
Stephanie is shipping.
yeah. Ratings went up. The ratings went up for some reason. I don't know why. No, but yeah.
Because I'm showing arm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Zooming in on tattoos. That's it.
We're doing tattoo comparisons.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that's when I found out I could not ship bull semen through the mail.
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't think.
It's explosive, and people try. The closer you live to farms, the more they try. And I've handled a jug or two.
You didn't touch that.
I told you I got a metal capsule in. I thought he was shipping like some type of
I didn't know you
boost
touched
or
it.
something, and he's like, "No, that's so and so," and I couldn't eat, and I couldn't eat because I had went down the street and got Italian pastries, and they were all cream filled, and I was like, "Nope, I'm good for the week."
Cannoli.
Cannoli. That's what they call it. Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah. I gave them all.
Delicious as fuck.
Yeah, see,
Thank you.
yeah. I mean, they look good, but to this day, I never had one. I can't sustain it. I can't. Not me. Nope. Sorry. But so yeah, I see the matches. The pins look.
Yeah,
cool.
there were pins. Those were fun.
And then the shop here. Are you guys combining shipping right now on anything? On everything, or is there? So if I order like more than one book.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It all gets shipped right here from my house in Orlando, Florida. So I'm putting it all in a box for you.
Oh man, you're really close, Rob. Oh.
It sounded like you said Orlando.
Well,
I mean, am I right though? Am I right?
I've only been here less than a year, so I'm not going to comment on the nature of the folks who live in Orlando.
Well,
I have a good friend who likes to call it Jamlando, which I'm pretty fond of.
That's nicer
Yeah.
than what I said. Yay.
Oh, it depends. It depends. But I would like to say that Rob Anderson does live very close to that area. So
Yeah, he's not far away.
yeah. I'm sorry you live that close to him. You can leave. You can leave. We can help you. If he's keeping you there.
We just got here.
Yeah. So yeah, if Rob is keeping you there, just email the network. We'll take care of him.
Yeah.
Meredith will give him an HR.
Just scratch your nose if you're under duress.
Yeah.
If Rob's got me handcuffed.
I will rescue you.
No, we're happy to be here. We're enjoying Florida.
Thank you for sharing this with us, Jeff. We're gonna definitely put it on the site, and we're gonna also put the links to the video and to the campaign that he has here in the video. People can check that out. Sean, and I keep wanting to say Sean down because the D makes me abbreviate as down, so it's like, but it's Sean DN, and I'm trying to figure out what the DN stands for. Never mind.
It's my initial Dave Annan.
Mm-hmm.
So I put DN.
Ah,
Yeah.
I get it. See, I'm thinking of all the meaning. It could be Sean's dungeon. It could be yeah, it could be dungeon. It could dungeon be DN. It would be. Could be John. Could be Sean Denver, like John Denver. Yeah.
You're like really good at just bullshitting.
I am.
Clearly.
I am. Teacher told me that in school. She said I was gonna be a politician. She's wrong. Yeah. Meredith is out here backing books. I see. I'm getting.
I did.
So Sean, tell us about what you are doing, sir. And I'm trying to pull information up because I have it all here, but my fingers aren't cooperating with the mouse today.
That's always fun.
All right, there we go.
8-bit Shinobi.
Yep.
Right.
Enunciation. I like it.
Yeah, well, you got to pronounce that one because otherwise. There we go.
Come on, Varian, let's get going.
Well, I'm sorry. I was put into this tonight. No one asked me. No one No one asked me. No one. I was made to do this. I'm under the rest. I've been scratching.
That wig is a distraction, man.
Yeah.
We should get that technical difficulty sign that they have on The Simpsons with that guy drunk on the recorder thing.
Yeah, I had. Well, it's funny. I do have a technical difficulties background here, but yeah. Never. Big Shinobi's in the
India.
When does this launch? Right.
We're launching October 31st. I thought Halloween event. We're gonna give away goodies for our live stream. So we're gonna be live streaming it to make it an event. Hopefully we get a little buzz going. So what we're doing right now is this is the pre-launch page. So the cocktail that that you saw is actually from the book I'm creating. It's called Nerdy Cocktails and How to Make Them, and that cocktail is specifically for my comic book, the Foxfire cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
So it's based off of my character called Kitsune, who is a fox spirit. So the blue for the Foxfire, and then the fire representing the fire.
So what? I mean, can you tell us what the ingredients are in this?
It's a little bit of a secret. You have to get the book first.
Very cool.
So this book, it not only tells you how to make cocktails, it shows you how to do extracts, ice cream and slushy blends, all sorts of neat things that I've learned how to do through the process.
Very good.
Now, were you always, did you do bartending professionally? Because my parents owned a bar, and we used to close up and make up our own drinks.
I kind of, my grandfather had a bar in his basement. So we kind of grew up in that type of environment. And when I got my own place, I started doing parties, and we called it Spacemas, with space and Christmas merged into one. So what I would do was I would make cocktails based off of characters. I'd make Batman cookie shapes. I'd make a gingerbread walker, and then we would drink, eat, play games and stuff. And that's kind of how we got the idea for 8-Bit Shinobi. We started going to conventions, and at the time, I was working on a book with my good friend Crystal Hart. We got a new artist on board too, where her name is In the After All. She's on my Twitter. I could put her information. She's really good, but right now Crystal isn't able to do as much art. So I'm looking to bring on a new member to our team. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing this first before we launch our book. We're doing the Nerdy Cocktails book, and then we're giving away mugs and all sorts of swag related to gaming. And the book Paranormal Academy is kind of like Jeff's idea, where all the mythical creatures, wizards, unicorns, fairies, dragons, they left our world because they were being hunted by humans. So they went to this alternate dimension, which is it was kind of like a flip side of our world. So kind of like a coin, like the opposite end of a coin. So they left the mortal world, and what was happening is because they weren't fighting off the evil in the mortal world, so that started infecting the world of Paranor. So the Grand Mages, they all got together and formed this academy where they would train the next generation to go to the mortal world to fight off all these evils. So the story begins with the
Well,
character.
you can't give them the story for free.
It's just a synopsis about the characters.
No, because I mean that sounds like you're about to
Right.
give away the keys to the kingdom. Well, I do. I got a video that was pulled up here.
We gotta hold it down. Oof.
Yeah, because although I see Asian fusion, for the it's way too late for me to be looking at this picture. I'm like, what? I was gonna.
It almost looks human. Like I
It's,
see like a
beef.
sad eye and another sad eye.
It's beef and onions and chipotle mayo. I have a lot of friends that don't like fish, so I altered my sushi burrito to be like to be neutral. So I have chicken, beef.
Oh, you know what I see? I see lizards, and they're like assaulting a tree branch that's sitting in the snow. Yeah, it's a but it's delicious. Is that kimbap? The like Korean seaweed. I thought it was like the kimbap.
The seaweed wraps, yeah.
Seaweed.
Yeah, that's what that was. So yeah,
The
kimbap.
nori or whatever you
Yeah,
Americans call them.
Yeah. And then I also seen this, and I have to ask. Hold on, let me bring this up. This is oops. There you go. The Paranormal Academy. Is this the opening to what you're getting ready to do? I mean, well, is it saying to play with the music, or is it?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me make sure that. Oh, I don't think I shared it with music. This wig is taking me off my game tonight. Hold on. I think it's frying my brain. Someone said that earlier. I think you guys are right. All right.
So pretty.
Okay. And you got your Crystal Heart was the editor artwork on that one. You this is your Paranormal Academy.
Yeah.
And now I know that Rob gave me the link, but I know that I had seen Paranormal Academy. I think you advertised it recently on Facebook. I came across it. And
yeah.
And so how close are you to having that complete? I seen the video said was it August 9th, 2020?
That was the hopeful release, but because of COVID, all of our conventions where we get all our income kind of like went out the window.
Tying right back into our theme. How nice. Dovetails, just like that.
So we're hoping to have it ready for next year's Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
We were very fortunate that Comic-Con and Fanaticon were able to say, okay, we're just gonna push you guys back. Mm-hmm. I heard one convention in Ottawa, they're refusing to give anyone their money back or to do the same thing. Yeah. So they're just taking everyone's money and running. It was in the news. Everyone's.
Yeah. That's not
I think
cool.
there's going to be a lawsuit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's happened a lot. People are, the cons got hit. the creators got hit, and everybody's trying to figure out a way to next year, 2021. The important thing is I'm still here. And yeah, and and according to horror movie rules, we know we're not a horror movie because if we were, I wouldn't be here. So
you better well now, like we're in that Peel moment where black guys don't die anymore. You're welcome.
Yeah, we're right. You're right. We are doing. They're breaking ground in Hollywood now. Now they just that is reenact that shit on the streets. Anyway,
that reminds me of the episode of Married with Children. Have you ever watched that? Where they're in the military and Griff's like he's like, I'm not going out there. The black guy is always the first to go. Bubba and Forrest Gump, and he just keeps naming them.
Yeah, I we make that joke about horror movies, like, like who they cast, who made a short payday, a quick payday. Anyway, guys, we are over our time, so we want to make sure that everyone knows where they can find you. We'll start with you, Sean. Where can they find you online?
8bitshinobi.ca. That's where we have our collectibles. We have beer and winemaking classes. All our swag's there. We also have our Twitter, 8shinobi at Twitter.
Okay. And then we'll make sure that everyone gets in touch with you there. We're gonna have we'll obviously put that link in the chat and in the video description as well. Jeff, we know they can go to crowdwranglercomics.com to find you, but tell us where else they can find you. Where can they stalk you?
Well, the good part about it is you can type Cloud Wrangler into anything you want, and you're going to come across me. I've been Cloud Wrangler on the internet since about '99. So Twitter, Facebook. There's actually a Cloud Wrangler blog out there somewhere that's just me whining about my feelings if you look really hard. There's also a really good chili recipe on there if that's your thing. CloudWranglerComics.com. The Kickstarter specifically, you can go to MAJHOLMES Major Homes, which was on the end of the video there that you guys saw before. That'll take you directly to the Kickstarter campaign while it's still running, and then eventually it will take you back to it'll redirect back to the webpage so you can find stuff at the store. Yeah.
Stephanie, where can they find you at, man?
StephanieMenard.com. Also, you can find me like probably in a dumpster behind a Chili's.
Are you at least getting the food? Are you getting the food, right? Like out?
I mean, I'm not like going in there like hoping for food. I'm just like, well, this is where I live.
It's like a cool place to hang out. I was just hang out and
yeah.
I used to yeah. I was gonna tell another really bad story. I'm not gonna tell it though. It's horrible. Meredith, where can they find you at?
Easiest place you guys can find me is indievent.com. That's INDEEVENT.com. We are getting ready to launch, actually, I'm in the planning stages of a November event so that we are not competing with the Halloween stuff. And I have my links there. You can get a hold of me if you are at all interested. The theme is going to be the dark stuff, horror. It's going to be suspense, steampunk. We're looking for all kinds of creators in the indie space. So if you write prose, if you do comic books, if you do film, music, anything like that, we
inbox me.
Yeah.
And then Indie Princess, what do you got for us?
Sorry, I keep freezing. Yeah. But everyone can find me. Just look up the Indie Princess. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on Indie Vault Live on Tuesday nights at 9 and on Geekgasm every Wednesday night at 9.
Cool. And of course, you can find me at Varying Grad, KYD_V. She pretty much is better. But and of course on Indie Vault, indievault.com, all of the channels. You can find us. Contact Geekgasm over at Geekgasm.
Right now.
Okay, go ahead. You can contact her and get your question put on the air and just get laughed at as well. No, Geekgasm at indievote.com is where you'll email those questions to. No question too raw. No question these ladies can't handle. They're tough. Listen to us. Thanks for listening to us on Indie Vote Radio. It's not live tonight, but it would have been, but it's not. So you'll be hearing this later. Indie Vote Radio is on Google and it's on Stream on iOS. Check us out there as well as Roku TV if you want to check out some in-demand entertainment on your Roku-enabled device. Check out Indie Vote TV. It is absolutely free, just like our app, just like our radio app. It's all free. Practically giving it away.
Free.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We will see you guys all back here, Randy in the morning, with the Indie Vote Breakfast Buzz. Until then, signing off.